A runway collision that miraculously turns into a textbook evacuation. A passenger's live stream that captures a fatal plunge into a gorge. An airliner intentionally flown into a mountain. These aren't scenes from a movie. They're just a few of the shocking aviation incidents from the past couple of years. We're about to explore the terrifying details of flights that went horribly wrong. On March 21, 2022, China Eastern Airlines Flight 5735 was cruising normally at 29,000 feet on its way to Guangzhou. But suddenly, without warning, the Boeing 737-800 pitched over into a terrifying near-vertical dive. Footage from a security camera at a nearby mine captured the airliner plummeting toward the mountains in its final seconds. In just over 2 minutes, it slammed into the ground, creating a 65-foot deep crater. Investigators were baffled, as no distress call was ever made. The flight data recorder, however, revealed a chilling fact. The dive was caused by intentional inputs from someone in the cockpit. The disaster remains one of modern aviation's most disturbing and unsolved mysteries. On May 5, 2019, shortly after taking off from Moscow, Aeroflot Flight 1492 was struck by lightning. The strike caused a major electrical failure and loss of communications, forcing the crew to return for an immediate emergency landing. But the approach was unstable, and the Sukhoi Superjet 100 hit the runway with tremendous force. It bounced hard, then slammed down again, causing the landing gear to collapse and puncture the fuel tanks. Video from airport cameras shows the plane erupting into a massive fireball as it skids down the runway. While the crew managed to evacuate many from the front, the fire engulfed the rear of the aircraft with terrifying speed. The incident at Tokyo's Haneda Airport on January 2, 2024, was a perfect storm of tragedy and triumph. A Japan Airlines A350 Flight 516 was touching down when it struck a smaller Coast Guard plane on the very same runway. The Coast Guard crew was on a noble mission, preparing to fly aid to an area hit by an earthquake. The collision was catastrophic. But what happened next was incredible. The cabin crew performed what many experts now call a textbook evacuation. They managed to get all 379 people off the plane safely. The survival of everyone on the JAL flight is a stunning testament to both incredible crew training and the safety design of modern aircraft. In Nepal, on January 15, 2023, Yeti Airlines Flight 691 was making its final approach into a brand new airport in Pokhara. A passenger inside was live streaming the view, capturing the scenic approach. But then, the video shows the plane suddenly banking hard to the left before cutting out. The investigation uncovered a tragic and fatal mistake. The final report concluded that one of the pilots inadvertently pulled the levers that control the propellers into the feathered position. This is a setting that essentially shuts the engines down by cutting off thrust. By the time the crew realized what had happened, it was too late to prevent the stall and the crash. You don't need to be in the air for things to go terribly wrong. On November 18, 2022, LATAM Peru Flight 2213 was thundering down the runway at Lima's Jorge Chavez Airport, cleared for takeoff. At that exact same moment, airport fire trucks were in the middle of a training exercise nearby. But because of a complete breakdown in communication, one of those fire trucks drove directly onto the active runway, right into the path of the accelerating Airbus A320. The plane smashed into the truck at high speed. Its right engine was torn off, and the aircraft erupted in flames as it skidded to a halt, while all 108 people on the plane managed to evacuate. The investigation blamed a fatal mix of poor planning and non-standard communication for the disaster. From human error to sheer bravery, these events are stark reminders of the forces at play in aviation. Each tragedy forces the industry to learn, improve, and prevent the same mistakes from happening again. If you want to keep exploring the events that shape aviation safety, Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell.